think it's time. I think it's time to officially call for this guy's retirement. Chris Jericho. So I'm scrolling through Facebook, minding my business, doing absolutely nothing, watching random matches or whatever, and then I see a random throwaway collision match with Chris Jericho and Bandito pop up, and I'm like, you know what? This is 30 seconds. Let me go waste my time. So I wasted 30 seconds of my time to check out this Chris Jericho and Bandito match, and my God, was it one of the biggest regrets I've ever had in my life, checking out a Chris Jericho and Bandito match. Bandito's okay, jobber to the absolute stars, but whatever. Let's say Bandito's okay. He can move in the ring, he can do some high-flying stuff, whatever. Jericho. So I'm watching this match, and I'm seeing Jericho like throw punches. And I know it's a fake sport. I know wrestling is a fake sport. The hits are mostly all fake. The blood is mostly all fake. The storylines, it's all storylines for the sake of entertainment. I get it. I know. I'm not a mark. I understand. But when you watch a wrestling match and you can tell that it's fake, you can tell that it's scripted, I think that's where it takes you out of the story and it puts you back in reality of like, shit, this is a fake sport. This is a fake match. This honestly doesn't matter. So I'm watching Chris Jericho. And the first thing he does is a hurricanrana, which I don't care if he does a hurricanrana or not. Anyone can do a hurricanrana from the top rope. But when he goes to like punch Bandito, it's very apparent that these punches are like fake. And he's like intentionally holding back, trying to give him almost like a forearm punch instead of like a straight punch. And I get this is how you do it. You fake a punch, but I think you should make it look realistic. The best wrestlers, the absolute best wrestlers, are the ones that can make the in-ring performance believable. The way they sell a hit like they got shot by a gun. They punch like it's a freaking bomb going off. Like, the best wrestlers are the ones that can actually convince you that this shit is real in the ring. That's why guys like Triple H, that's why guys like The Undertaker, that's why guys like Batista, The Rock, Stone Cold, like all of these guys, they not only have the charisma on the mic to cut the best promos ever, but they also have the in-ring storytelling that's going to allow me, the viewer, believe what is happening in the ring between these 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, however many guys are in the ring. They have one job, and that's to make sure that it looks real and that it is believable. Otherwise, I, as a viewer, I'm going to realize that I'm watching some fake shit, and it's going to take me out of whatever the storyline is or whatever the match is or whatever is going on. I'm removed out of it mentally when I realize that what I'm watching doesn't matter. And I think in wrestling, you have to really walk a fine line in terms of, obviously, it is a fake sport, so you need to not actually hit the person or really do anything that's honestly physical. Like, everything is just an act, everything is just acrobatics, but it needs to look like it's effective. So that brings me to this match that I watched, Chris Jericho and Bandito. 0 punches, 0 hits, 0 impact, 0 anything looked believable. Chris Jericho doesn't look like a believable guy that can beat up anyone because he's out of shape. His punches and the way he moves and his in-ring charisma, it just doesn't translate to someone that is doing their job in a believable way. Now, Chris Jericho's a legend. I'm not knocking the man. The first ever undisputed champion, like ever of all time, the first ever. That's a really big accolade. The guy's had multiple world titles between multiple promotions. He's very successful in terms of having a pretty decent music career. He was an okay actor in a couple movies. He's done pretty well for himself. Like, I'm not calling the man a jobber to the absolute stars. I need to recognize the history. I need to recognize that the guy is a freaking GOAT. Like, the list of Jericho, crazy. The walls of Jericho, when he first made his big return and he won the WWE Championship, like, just loved all of it. Like, he's a great wrestler. Like, I'm a fan. But all those things I just said was Jericho about 15, 20 years ago. So now we're talking about a Chris Jericho in 2025. The guy is like 54 or something like that. It's very obvious that he can't move, like, at all in terms of keeping up with someone like Bandito. It's also very obvious that those punches and what he was doing in the ring is no longer effective in the way you should be in a wrestling ring to tell a convincing story or to make me, the viewing audience, a believer in what you are doing. When I realized right away that your punches are fake, that your fake throwing elbow has zero impact and the guy has to really force whiplash so that it looks impactful and everything you do overall doesn't matter and you slowly kind of miss the timing with that forearm, the guy has to freaking pause for a second, looking super awkward, and he has to kind of give you the floor to throw this forearm so that he can sell it. Like, I can break down the match script by script as I'm watching it. I shouldn't be able to do that. I shouldn't be able to see the inconsistencies. I shouldn't be able to see where things are supposed to be orchestrated or where things are supposed to happen or how those spots were planned. You probably were backstage in some kind of like 6x6 ring doing all these practice spots. Like, I could see the practice. I could see you guys choreographing this shit. And then it just turns out to look super fake. And the second you make it look super fake, I lose all interest. I don't care anymore. Like, it's just like, why am I watching this? I'd rather watch, if I'm going to watch fake wrestling, I'd rather it be fun with like freaking Santino Marella or something like that. Freaking Eugene. Like, if I'm going to apparently just watch clearly fake wrestling, and I know wrestling as a sport, it's obviously entertainment. It's more like a series or soap opera. 100% get it, but I want to believe what I'm watching, just like how when I'm watching a movie and there's an action scene and things are blowing up, people are getting shot and things are happening in the background and just damage is happening to the body. That looks real because obviously the graphics and the acting and just how everything is shot, similar to wrestling, but wrestling is more so just live and there's not a lot of, I guess, props. Like, you can have a chair, you can have a table, you can have some blood pellets, but there's not a lot of props. Like, it's really you, the individual, selling the match and selling all the hits and selling all the damage so that me, the viewer, can enjoy it like I sit and enjoy an action movie. Like, wrestling is an action series that is just continuously infinite because there's no like real premiere or season finale or whatever, although they try to market that every single year that this is the season finale of Raw or whatever, SmackDown. Like, it's a continuous thing that's been going on for decades now. Like, there's no real end or beginning of whatever. Anyways, I digress. Chris Jericho is completely washed, absolutely washed. I'm not going to call him a jobber, but I will call his performance in the ring a jobber. I will call the fact that he's 54, still trying to do the best he can in the ring, which I do commend. That's fine, but I think he'll fit way better as a backstage role or like a manager or someone that is more believable because his believability in the ring is slowly being diminished as he gets older, as he slows down, and I guess he's just not really caring much at all. I don't even know. Obviously, he still enjoys it to an extent, which is fine. Like, if you want to enjoy it and be on some throwaway television show on a Saturday, freaking Collision, AEW Collision. Who's on Collision? 0 people on Collision. What are you getting, like 150 viewers? TNA is beating you in terms of ratings. Like, it doesn't matter. You're on freaking Collision, bro. Like, I don't care. 0 people care. I wouldn't have found you if I wasn't scrolling through Facebook. Like, no one's watching Collision. But if you're gonna wrestle, at least make it look convincing. In the moment where you're on a dead run, on a dead show, on a Saturday at like 9 p.m., wrestling Bandito in front of an audience of potentially 900 people live and an audience at home of about 150 people, 150,000 people, which, like, you know, Raw brings 3 million, like SmackDown brings millions, AEW barely cracks 500K, but it's like the show doesn't matter at the end of the day. But if you're going to do all this stuff and whatever, at least make it look believable. At least, like, this is your chance to maybe pull me in as a potential future Collisioner. But because it sucked, I'm never going to watch Collision. I don't want to. And I don't really want to see any more Bandito and Chris Jericho matches because, like, I kind of know what I'm going to get. So, yeah, wrestlers need to definitely step it up. I know Chris Jericho's a goal. Like, I get it. Like, he's been around for a long time. Like, whatever. At the end of the day, though, current day Chris Jericho cannot hold a candle to 99% of the wrestlers in the world because he's just kind of washed, to be honest. The second I realize that I'm watching something fake, I no longer care about it. Like, I'm done. Anyways, guys, quick video. Hope you enjoy. Like, share, comment down below. And if you're not subscribed, make it a thing. Sub to the boy, and I'll see you next time. Zero miedo. Bye-bye.